All right, that's the end of that one. 62 through 64 is next, and we've finally arrived at our graphics questions. As you can see, I have your graphic here on the top left of your screen. You can start reviewing those questions now. And let's go ahead and listen to our conversation.
Questions 62 through 64 refer to the following conversation and illustration.
Brian, I'm trying to decide which of these graphics to use for my new business cards, but I can't make up my mind. Can I get your input?
Sure. Well, this simple circular design would seem to make sense. It resembles a globe, which relates to your job field. But to be honest, I prefer this triangular design. It's very unique and it really grabs your attention.
I agree. And I think it's most important to have something that's eye-catching and memorable. The travel industry is very competitive, so I want something distinctive that'll help set me apart.
Number 62. What is the woman in the process of designing? Number 63. Look at the graphic. Which logo does the man say he prefers? Number 64. What does the woman imply about her job?
Okay, it doesn't sound like these two speakers are coworkers, so just acquaintances, friends, possibly family members, I don't know. I'd say friends, It doesn't really matter. Questions and vocabulary. What's the woman in the process of designing? Basically, it's the same as what's she currently designing. You're in the process of it. You've started. You're continuing through the process, but you haven't finished. So basically, what is the woman currently designing is the question. Promotional brochures. A brochure is the same as a pamphlet, small catalog. Promotional almost always is used not for job promotions or moving up to a higher level. Promotional is almost always used to mean for the purpose of promoting products and services, like marketing or advertising products and services. Our graphic question, which logo does the man say he prefers? To prefer something is to like it better than the other choices. So basically, which logo does the man like the most? 64, what does the woman imply about her job? To imply something means to communicate it without using direct language. So based on what the woman says, what is most likely true about her job? A, she has a lot of competition, as this competition is an uncountable noun. So she has competition in the industry or at her workplace, meaning she has rivals. We're going to understand that, she is saying that there's competition in her industry, meaning that there are many people and organizations who provide the same type of service that she does. Those are her competitors. Choice C, she intends to relocate her office. She plans to change her office location. D, she will soon depart on a business trip. Just to remind you, depart is a common word you see in public listening, equals leave, right? She will soon leave on a trip for business purposes. Okay, those are your questions and some of the harder vocabulary. Let's move on to our transcript.
Questions 62 through 64 refer to the following conversation and illustration.
Brian, I'm trying to decide which of these graphics to use for my new business cards, but I can't make up my mind. Can I get your input?
Sure. Well, this simple circular design would seem to make sense. It resembles a globe, which relates to your job field. But to be honest, I prefer this triangular design. It's very unique and it really grabs your attention.
I agree. And I think it's most important to have something that's eye-catching and memorable. The travel industry is very competitive, so I want something distinctive that'll help set me apart.
So she starts by, talking to her friend or acquaintance. Brian, I'm trying to decide which of these graphics to use for my new business cards. The graphics are what we see in our graphic. but I can't make up my mind. Make up my mind is decide, make a final decision. Kind of, I can't settle my brain on what I want. Can I get your input? Input, opinions, comments, or advice. Basically, when someone gives input, they state their own opinions or belief or suggestions. They're putting that into a group discussion. And with input, it's the opinions that you put into a group discussion. That's why we call it input. But in this case, can I get your input? Can I get your advice? Can I get your comments? Can I get your opinions about which graphic to use for the business card? Now, if she is the one deciding on the graphic for her new business cards, that makes it pretty clear that she's designing the cards. So the man says, sure, and he's looking at the same 4 images that we see in our graphic. He says, well, this simple circular design would seem to make sense. Now, that's a pretty positive statement. That it's not a strong positive statement. It would seem to make sense. It's almost kind of like saying, well, most people would probably think that the circle design is reasonable. It kind of seems reasonable to choose this circular design. Circular is the adjective for circle. Circular just means circle shaped. And something makes sense. It's sensible. It's reasonable, logical. And he explains why it might make sense. He says it resembles a globe. Resemble something means look like it most of the time. It can sometimes mean be like it, but most of the time people use A resembles B to mean A looks like B. That's what he means here. It's a circular design. It's in the shape of a circle, so it kind of looks like a globe, which relates to your job field. So we learn a little bit about the woman's job field here. Whatever her job field is, it somehow relates to a globe. And the main use of a globe is what I have here. It's a 3-dimensional ball-shaped, the real word is spherical. It's the shape of a sphere. It's the shape of a ball. But like a map of the world that looks like this. This is what most people think of when we hear the word globe. But the word globe can also be used to refer to the actual Earth. People around the globe, are enjoying the new movie, so it's the same as saying people around the world. Also, there's other types of globes. An ornamental globe like this one is called a snow globe. We see these types of decorations during the winter holidays. You shake it and there's white powder that looks like snow. So that's called a snow globe. Some types of lamp are called globes if they have a perfectly ball shape. But he's talking about this type of globe. So what's tricky about this is he makes kind of a positive statement, or he gives a potential reason for the woman to choose the circular design. But again, this isn't very strong positive language. And we're going to see that this is something that makes the answer choice tricky. It's not actually, the circular design is not really what he prefers. He goes on to say that next. He says, but, again, there's a big but, whatever comes before but is not important. Right? What comes after but is important. This is the fact. It says, but to be honest, to give you my honest opinion, I prefer this triangular design. So this is a very direct statement about his preference. So, he thinks the circular design is reasonable, but his honest opinion is he likes the triangular design best. And just like circular equals circle shape, triangular means triangle shape. And he says the reason he prefers the triangle, he says it's very unique and it really grabs your attention. This is grab, right? So if something grabs your attention, it gets your attention and holds it. And the woman says, I agree. And I think it's most important to have something and some type of graphic that's eye-catching. So if something catches your eye, it grabs your attention. It's almost the same type of statement. Something is eye-catching. It's very easy to notice. something catches your eye equals you notice that thing. And it's also memorable, easy to remember. She says, the travel industry is very competitive, so I want something distinctive that'll help set me apart. Now, she doesn't directly say she works in the travel industry here, but she mentions the travel industry is very competitive. There's a lot of competition, a lot of travel agents, a lot of travel organizations, and they're all competing for the same customers. And then she says, so I want something distinctive that'll help set me apart. And this indirectly communicates that she is in the travel industry, that she has a lot of rivals. So she wants something on her card that's distinctive. Now, distinctive and distinct mean pretty much exactly the same thing. If something is distinctive, it's noticeably different from other similar things. There's something about it that's unusual that makes it different from other things in that category. So distinctive is noticeably unique, right? Noticeably different or special. And that's going to help set her apart in the industry, which really kind of means to separate her from the other rivals, right? You know, to take her out of the group and make her special in some way. So set me apart, make me appear to be different and special. Make me stand out is basically exactly the same type of expression. So if she has an unusual logo on her card, right, that's going to make her noticeably different in some type of way compared to her industry rivals. So for our questions, designing business cards, she's trying to choose a graphic for her new business card. That lets us know she's participating in the design of those cards. For the graphic question, he does mention some positive things about the circular logo, which is shaped like a globe. It does relate to her job field. This kind of supports the idea that she's in the travel field because people travel around the globe when they travel. But he says very directly, I prefer this triangular design. That's your answer location, very direct. Triangular is triangle shaped. Of course, that would be logo number 2. And then finally, travel industry is very competitive, so I want something distinctive that'll help set me apart from other people in the travel industry. So it is implied, you know, she doesn't say that she has a lot of competition, but she says there's a lot of competition in this industry, so she wants something that will make her appear different. That indirectly communicates that she does work in the travel industry. And if the industry is very competitive, there is a lot of competition in that industry. So.